So welcome back to level 7. Level 7, at the beginning you need to do 4 to 5 minutes of warm-up. So whether that's on the bike, the stationary bike, or if you can go outside if it's not too cold where you are. Okay, so got your warm-up done, 4 to 5 minutes, and you come down on the ground, and we're going to start with the same ones. So as I said before, we don't have to take quite as long. So first one, knee to chest, pulling the knee down, just holding again, just for 1 to 2 seconds each time, getting a little bit lower as you go again, pulling slightly out to the side, down towards the floor. Okay, so we have 5 of those, and on the 5th one, or you could make it the 6th one if you like, that's where you're going to do the double. Okay, so you bring the other leg up, cradle both, rock a little bit side to side, massaging the lower back on the ground at the same time. Okay, so that's knee to chest. Next one, going for the flat back, and I think we'll do just the same as last time. You're just pressing down the lower back just for about 5 seconds on each repetition, and breathing out as you press down. And one more, and press down. So it doesn't have to be exactly 5 seconds. This is just to prepare you for later on as we build up the core work, because things are getting easier now, right? So we've got to make things harder as things get easier. We're at level 7, feet are together, hands are out to the side, back twist. And we're just going to do about 5 of these again on each side. 2, that's it. Now you should be getting closer to the floor, and if not, don't worry, just listen to your body. Okay, so 5 repetitions or thereabouts on each side. That's the first. We got the hamstring with the toe up and toe down. Okay, 3 times with the toes up and toes down, stretching out the calf. Some days you'll be tighter than others, so just go easy on the first always. Test yourself out a little bit more on the second, and then by the third you're more or less there. If you need more flexibility in the back of the leg, then obviously continue for a few more repetitions. You don't have to stop at this point. Okay, you can go all the way up to 10 repetitions on all of these stretches. I'm just giving you the minimum. So next one is a leg crossover. Push away, pull across, and the lift up. Okay, hold on for a few seconds. You can roll around. Maybe you need more of a stretch on one side than the other. Pull across, lift up. Okay, so I'm just going to recommend around 3 to 5 of these on each side before we move on to the next one, which will be, anyone guess? The bridge, I believe. So here we go, we're going to go into the bridge next. So we're just doing up to 20 as the maximum. Still go easy on the first one. You're going to push a little more on the second, holding for a second or 2 at the top on each one. Okay, so 20 repetitions here. Keep a little bit of a contraction around the core. You're not like pressing your lower back down too violently as you try to lift up, but you're keeping a little bit of a tight core as you lift. Sometimes people call this pelvic tilt, bridge or pelvic tilt. Either way, it's a leg push. We're developing our leg muscles, our hips, buttocks, abdominal muscles are working, lower back. It's a very, very good exercise, the bridge, for building some strength. As we get up to level 10, you're going to find that this bridge that is really the only main leg strength exercise we have right now, is going to become the warm-up as we progress on to the chair squat, which is an easy way to start learning how to do regular squats. It's starting from the chair. But anyway, that's just a little teaser for the later levels when we get up to level 10 and 11 and beyond. So 20 repetitions should take you, if you're doing 2 seconds up, holding for 2 seconds, around 5 seconds maybe each repetition. But it should take you 1.5 minutes, no more than 2 minutes for the bridge. Okay, if you get up to 2 minutes, you've done very, very well. 1.5 minutes should be approximately 20 reps for most people. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Next one is going to be the back twist with the feet apart. So you might want to move your feet a little wider now or a little closer, and you're probably able to grab on to the back of the heel. Okay. So that's a very good complement to the bridge that we just done. Pushing into the stretch a little further on each repetition. 2. Head the other way. So just remember to twist your head in the opposite direction to where the legs are going. Good. And you can always stay there for a bit longer. I put you down for 5 at this point, but if you stay for a little longer on 1 or 2, then you can obviously reduce the repetitions. Okay, so that's the bridge. Now next up is the dead bug, which I don't want to forget. So here we go, bringing one leg up and then the other. This time we're holding for 1 minute, okay? So I better check my clock on the wall for this one. Okay, so 1 whole minute now. Keep pressing down the back. You should, at a minute, be able to lift your hands pretty much, right? Because that's what's going to happen on the next level, is that the hands are going to be up and we're going to be holding maybe a couple of pounds in weight in that position before we start moving. So should be able to relax your hands. They can stay down here or you can rest them across the stomach. Okay, so just breathing in, breathing out, keeping the knees up above the 90 degrees. As you fatigue, your legs are going to probably start dropping, but that's where you've got to be careful. Glue your back down to the floor, because as your legs drop, as you fatigue, there becomes an arch and you can get your hand under. And that you don't want to do because your spine is now taking too much stress. So the whole point of this one is like the flat back at the beginning, keeping your lower back glued. Okay, so yep, there we go. Just hit the minute. That was a good guess. All right, feet and knees together, hands out to the side. Another back twist just to stretch out around the core. For almost every movement I do for strength, I like to counter with a stretching exercise afterwards. And you might even be massaging the muscle in between later as you climb up into the higher levels in the teens. You get a lot of lactic acid that builds up in the muscle. And to be able to perform the next set, you might have to massage it out. Well, anyway, at level 7, you shouldn't have too much fatigue. Okay, so there we go. That's finishing off those ones on the floor. Okay, so now we're going to get up, roll on over, push yourself into the ground with the hands, lift up. Okay, so we're going into just 5 cat stretches. We did work our way up to 10, but just for time, minimum of 3, 5 as an average, 10 if you feel that you need it. Depends how much time you have, okay? It's very hard to create workouts like a cookie cutter, one size fits all. I mean, I did these levels, but if I was training you privately, personally, we might skip some of these or do extras. It depends what you need. And that's why I want you to contact me so I can give you some more details what you might personally need. Okay, so 5 cat stretches. Then we go for a 1 minute child pose. Okay, so don't reach back too far if your knees are sore. If you have any knee problems, a pad in the back here is fine too. I showed you that on previous levels. I'm just going to go on down rest as low as I can, and I'm going to enjoy the child pose just for a minute. So just focus on your breath. Getting into the diaphragm with the breathing. Good, nice relaxation one. You can stretch your hands forward, just don't overstretch. You can rest your forehead on the ground or not. You could use blocks as well. This is a relaxation one, so whatever that means, wherever position you are, whether it's here or even there, you might even be there. Some people rest their forearms. Next up is the upward dog or belly time, lying on the stomach, and now we're going up to 45 seconds. Okay, last time I showed you with the hands together, elbows out to the side, elbows are under the shoulder, and I think I even mentioned that you could press now your elbows a little bit into the ground. So if in the past you've been down here, maybe you can come up a little higher. Okay, listen to that lower back. Remember, if you have any lower back sensitivity, spinal stenosis or any issues, then obviously you need to double check that this is the right exercise for you before you begin. Okay, so there's the upward dog belly time, lifting up through the crown of the head, reaching through. We're not tilting the head back. Okay, we don't want to crunch the neck at the top. We want to be long through the crown of the head. It's almost like we're trying to drag our body along. Okay, all right, so there we go with the upward dog belly time. Next one is the back bend with a towel or a pillow. Okay, so you might want to increase the difficulty on this one. I'm going to grab an extra yoga mat. Okay, so I grabbed another yoga mat, and I'm not going to go for the whole yoga mat. Last time I was probably using a half or a third. So let's say we'll go for a 3/4 this time, all right? So don't make it too narrow. The wider you go, the easier it will be. Okay, because we're doing a back bend through the shoulder blades here. So you can either lie down this way on it, or obviously you can roll from the side onto the towel or the yoga mat that you have. Okay, so this is a back bend. It's another passive stretch, and we're deliberately targeting the vertebrae around the rhomboid area in between the shoulder blades, opening up through the sternum in the front and the chest. So this is a very, very good exercise or a passive stretch for people that are sitting at the desk, have a rounded posture and need to open up. So if you have any pain or discomfort because of the height of this, then obviously you need to adjust it. Okay, this should be a comfortable exercise, and you can build up over time. And that's the whole point of everything, right? Not pushing too hard, too quick, because then you have to back off and you're going to lose time. So the tortoise will win the race. Okay, so there we go with the back bend. So that's it for the ones on the floor, I believe now. Let me double check. Back bend with a towel. Yep, that's it. So now we're going to get up and do a few stretches. Oh, I got a couple of new ones for you. We're going to do a chest stretch to open up through here, and a back stretch as well, all the way down. So I will show you those in a minute. All right. So the next two stretches are going to be for the upper body. This is two new stretches that we're going to do for the chest, shoulders, and for the back muscles. This can really make a difference with trying to help people to bring their shoulders back up when their shoulders have been rounded. Here becomes very, very tight. So we're going to go up to a door. I'll show you from another angle in a minute. And you're going to put your hands on the side of the door frame as you lean in to get a stretch as your hands come back. Very important when you're doing this one is to keep your core tight so that you don't pinch your lower back when you're standing in the door frame. Okay, so keep the core very tight, 1 foot forward, hands out to here and lean forward. There are 3 positions with the hands for this one, but just for the first time we're doing this, we're going to have the hands in the easiest position. So you walk up to the door, put your hands on the side, have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And you're just going to lean forward, nice and slow. If you don't feel much of a stretch, you can walk in a little bit further and then lean. Elbows are behind you. Okay, so we're stretching out here just by placing the hands, all right? So the next one here is the lat stretch. Okay, so the lat stretch, you're going to need a door handle or something firm that you can hold on to. I'll show you from this side. I'm going to place my left hand on my left kneecap and lean over. This is to support me. If I was bending over, having a conversation with somebody or like a kid down here, I'd probably be resting my hands to support my back, because this is going to be very uncomfortable to hold this position for a long time. So hand is on the knee. That's a very important part of this. You grab the door handle and then you reach back. Okay, I'll switch hands because what I want to show you is where you're going to be getting the stretch. All the way through the back muscles, the lats. Now, if you might have some difficulty in the shoulder, so you just find your own sweet spot. So just find the right spot for you, not too much of a stretch. If you get a pulling in the arm, that's okay, just relax the hand on and you'll get used to it in time. Okay, we're opening up this part. Okay, it gets very hard and stiff to lift your arms, so opening up the back muscles is very, very useful. Okay, so you're going to do the lat stretch or back stretch off of the door very gently, just for about 5 times maximum. You can start off with just a couple and then you're just relaxing or you're just stretching into it for up to 5 seconds. Okay, so that's those 2 new ones, so enjoy those. Those are both very good. Occasionally you might walk past the door, put your hands up, do a little chest stretch, grab a door handle. You don't have to do these all with every exercise, okay? You can put them in throughout the day at any time. Okay, so now we're going to do the standing part, starting up with the calf stretch, the calf raise I should say. Last time we were doing a 2-inch step, now we're going to do the 3-inch step, so you've got to lift up another inch. I could add another, I'll show you, I could add another one of these foam blocks. I had 4 previously. If I take a 5th and a 6th one, then I'll have my 3-inch block, but I'm getting pretty close to the level of the step. So I'm just going to show you, you don't have to keep going up on blocks. You could use a step. I'll put it here from the side so you can see, but I would recommend doing it leaning against a wall, or again having a chair to hold on to. This is just for illustration. So you're going to put the ball of the foot like before, just on the edge. Okay, feet are shoulder width apart. Going to slowly go up, and because it's a 3-inch block, you're probably not even going to be able to get your heels down the 3 inches now anyway. So if you're not touching the floor, and maybe you weren't even touching on a 2-inch block, then don't worry. If you're at 3 inches or above this block, or this thing is 4 inches, this step I believe, and I can just touch the bottom when I'm doing a full calf stretch. So if you're above that and you're not touching, don't worry, you're already there. Okay, just wanted to build you up gradually so that you didn't overstretch the calves in the beginning. And that's why I started with a 1-inch block and then lifted you up to 2 and now to the 3rd. Okay, so we're going for, let's do the 10 repetitions as last time on the calf raises. And if you can't do 10, then that's fine. 8, 9, 7, whatever you can do. Okay, 10 is the recommendation. So once you've done the calf raises, next up we go for the wrist stretch. And this time I was putting you up to 10. Okay, next time you can do less. 10 is because I just want you to be able to do 10. And if you can, then great. You can do less as time goes on. But if you need the calf stretch, if you're having issues with your muscles in your wrists and your forearms, then this is something that you probably want to do on a regular basis. Maybe you might even add this to level 1 where you're doing a knee raise, flat back and back twist. You might add a wrist stretch. Okay, so going up to 10 on each side, front and back, you can hold for a few seconds on each repetition, or you can just go back and forth. So turning, looking to one side and then to the other, and you can stop in the middle as well if you wish. Okay, so 5 side to sides, And then as last time, we ended up doing 5 tilts. There we go, side to side. Okay, take your time lowering your ear down to the shoulder and getting a really good stretch down the side of the neck. Good. Okay, if you want, you can do more of those as well, but I've set you up for 5. Next one for the neck is the 5 double chins. Pulling your chin back. You can do it with your finger on the chin as you jut forward and pull back. If you do this correctly, you should get a bit of a stretch going up the back of the neck. So 5 double chins. And just to finish off, I've added in 5 shrugs, which is where you roll your shoulders up to the front and back. Alternatively, you could go back and round, and you could even just go up and down. But doing a shoulder roll is kind of an instinctual exercise that people tend to do when they're trying to loosen up the muscles in the neck anyway, okay? And you can even shake off your hands as well. Giving a good shake to everything after your exercise is a good way to get rid of any tightness or excess energy in the body. Okay, so there we go. That's level 7. And so let's get ready for level 8. 1 level at a time. Go up 1 level every few days if you can. And if you're struggling, then obviously either stay at that level or always return back another one if you need to. Especially if you take a week off. If you miss a few days, then it's kind of common sense just to gradually reduce your level of intensity. Okay, so there we go. Speak to you soon.